Christopher Roberts, Managing Director, Engage Strategy, is joining us live from Australia at this point in time. Chris, if you can hear me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Chris, appreciate you joining us. Well, the partnership between India and Australia, Chris, is not a nascent one. We have collaborated, been partners, but, post-COVID, the camaraderie between both the countries, has gotten deeper, it's gotten better. There is more material or matter to this association. What are the areas, according to you, Chris? Sumit did mention that, there is a large diaspora of Indians who live in Australia, specifically students. What are the other regions you feel, as somebody who's an expert, in a field which pertains to human resources and HR and business, something that can basically make India and Australia partners in a very formidable manner?
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, I think we've discussed the strained relations between Australia and China. And India is a democracy, just like we are. We have lots in common besides the students coming here. We have cricket in common, obviously. So, culturally, we have a lot in common. But my view about the Ukraine-Russia conflict is this. And I want to speak to the businesses of both countries, right? Because at the end of the day, if businesses are prosperous, the country is prosperous. And what I want to say to them is there's absolutely no doubt that the world is going to, be basically economically impacted by this conflict. So even in Australia, as an example, our Reserve Governor has basically said that, if there are inflationary impacts, interest rates could go up. And then the whole kind of purchasing power of like Australian consumers would basically reduce. And what that means fundamentally for businesses for both countries is the fact that the pie will have shrunk, right? The sales and revenue pie will have shrunk. As soon as the revenue pie shrinks, you only have a few options. The first strategic option is to get a bigger slice of the pie. And this is a great opportunity because, trust me, in good times, businesses don't try to make improvements, but in bad times, they ponder and they start making improvements. So this is an opportunity to really fine-tune your customer value proposition, make it unique, build a bigger share and get a bigger share of the pie. The second aspect of the equation is how do you now build, customer experience and propositions that are worthy of recommendation? As we know, word of mouth is so powerful out there. So how do you build a formidable brand that is not just strong in tough times, but beyond tough times continues to be strong? And the third aspect is you obviously need to reduce costs, right? And rather than going the easy route and just getting rid of staff and kind of cutting costs indiscriminately, what about actually engaging this powerful resource all businesses have, which is your staff? Because your staff know exactly what processes, policies can be improved and changed and made better. And engaging the stakeholder and engaging customers to actually get a sense of, as a business, what must we do to become a formidable brand? I think worrying about the conflict is human nature, but worry is a wasteful emotion. I think you need to look at what's within your sphere of influence and control, and what is within your sphere of influence and control is building a much stronger business, which will naturally help both economies.
Absolutely.
Vineet, can I make a point?
Great points. Yeah, Sumit, go ahead.
Vineet, I agree to what Chris is saying. He makes some great points. Besides economic, besides military, there's a big economic outlook and opportunity.
Right. Christopher Roberts, any concluding thoughts, please?
Yeah, my concluding thoughts would be a summary of what I said. The conflict is going to happen. There's going to be economic impact. But for businesses on both sides, India and Australia, focus on what's within your sphere of influence and control. And don't take the easy options of just cutting costs because that'll damage you in the long term. Look at increasing efficiency, building a formidable brand and kind of organization post this crisis.
All right, great points there.